Yo, what is up, y'all boys? Today is April 14th on a Tuesday. I'm gonna just start off with plans/notes. Building a house versus buying one. When you build a house, you're forced to create equity. When you build less for what it's worth, so you create profit. When you build a house, you only have to put up 5 to 7% down on the land and the construction cost. I made a little example right here. So let's say I got 100,000, that's for the land. Let's say I got 400K, that's how much it's gonna cost to build the house. If you sit there and add those numbers together, that's 500 grand. You take 7% of that, because you gotta remember, we only have to put 5 to 7% down. We're gonna end up putting $35,000 down. And then you would just end up paying the rest over time. But when you're buying a house, you're negative equity. If you were to put the house on the market, you would have to bring money to the table just to get rid of it. Now, I wrote this down off of me just doing my research, obviously, but I also don't believe that. I believe if you're buying a house and you put it on the market, you'd get your money back and you wouldn't have to bring money to the table. A lot of people are buying houses, and as they live in them, they're renovating it. And they're changing the layout, and they're doing a whole lot more to it just so it can go up in value. And that's what a lot of people are doing. But buying, it's 5 to 7% down on the market value. For instance, Zillow. You go on Zillow right now, you would end up putting 5 to 7% down on any one of those numbers you're seeing. 1.2 million, 700 grand, some big numbers on top of the way houses work and all that other stuff. I can't really say too much about the housing market because I haven't did my full research on it, but this is just a little sum I wrote down for the most part. When buying, it's 5 to 7% down on market value. When buying, you might have to make tons of maintenance and repairs also. But when you build a house, it's new, no issues, so you're not really thinking about any repairs in the long run, in the future. Next page. When buying a house, you're move-in ready. But building takes 4 to 8 months. Buying is actually a higher payment per month. But like I said, I can't really get into the housing market and how everything like that works. On my education and from what I know, if I were to buy some land for 100 grand, and if I were to buy $400,000 worth of material, mind you, this is all off of a loan. This is all off of a grant or whatever. I'd just be paying back on that money. I don't know how the interest works on the houses alone. I don't know what the APR standing at, but you know how much you're getting with a loan. But building is less because it's a $500,000 loan. All this information is off of me and what I'm thinking about. You don't have to sit here and try to fact check me. This is just obviously me going over my notes right now and my understanding of everything. So right here we have interest rates on credit cards. My Capital One credit card currently has a 28.99% interest rate. That's almost 29%, pushing 30% of the interest rate. That is overly crazy. You guys have got to look at the interest rates on these credit cards before you get them. You guys have got to look at the annual fees and a whole lot of more things. But my $708 that I owe on that credit card, $23 and some change, around that amount, is getting added on to my debt because of the 28.99% interest rate. Basically, I'm playing a game with my credit card if I don't make more than the minimum payments. This 30% interest rate, I'm gonna just go ahead and say that, it would add 20 something dollars back onto my debt. So I'd be going back and forth, I'd pay it, and then they put this money right back on my card because this interest rate is so high and my debt is this much on this credit card. But anyway, I've stated a lot of times that my plans change. Since my first video, my plans have really morphed. Some of them are still the same, but a lot of new ones have came into the picture and they've taken effect before some of these that I've even spoke about. But I wrote right here, no more $500 secured credit card. If you don't have a job and you want to build credit, the credit card is the bank's money. A $500 secured credit card, that is your money. You want to build credit, you're going to take $500 out of your pocket and you're going to take it to the bank. The bank is going to put your $500 that you gave them, they're going to put it on that credit card. And you're gonna play a game with yourself. You're gonna spend off that credit card. You're gonna pay back on that credit card. You're just proving the bank that you can pay back your money. But you're proving to the bank that you can keep this below a 30% usage rate. And that's helping you build a relationship with the bank. That's helping you build credit at the same time. That's all that was. There was no need for me to get one in the first place. When I'm employed, when I can get approved for a credit card, there was no need for me to do that. When you go to the bank asking for a credit card, you're basically asking for a loan. A credit card is the bank's money. $750, they're not just handing you $750 on a card. They're handing you $750 in general. And you could go max this $750 out and not pay the bank back. What would you have? You just have some messed up credit at the end of the day, but that interest rate on that credit card, it's not just $750 you owe. That's $750 building at maybe 14 point something interest rate. That's gonna add up over time. The banks don't know you. They're not just gonna give you a credit card off the rip. You go get a $500 secured credit card, you go take some money out your own pocket, you go to the bank, you ask for this money to get put on a credit card, and you pay that money back. You play that game with yourself. You do that and you help yourself build credit. That's what it is. You can do your own research on it, but I'm telling you this right now, it's one of the first things I started looking into, but no need for a guy like me to be doing that. But it's something I'm gonna let others know. But I haven't noted down here, realistically, I plan to start monthly investing by June the 1st. When it came down to me talking about in my last video with no big deposit, I wasn't even ready to put down $500 in each account. And I wanna at least put down $500 to $750 in each one of those accounts. I'm gonna list these accounts right here. Again, my top 3 accounts I plan on investing into when I start monthly investing. The only thing that stopped me from putting down a decent deposit was the fact that my taxes, I just didn't know what I was getting back. But that's all that is, man. Pacing myself, making sure I'm ready. I'm gonna talk about how I budget again, because in my first video, how I talked about how I budget, it wasn't really in the best quality, and I feel like I can explain myself a lot better now. Even though all credit cards aren't all that great, I still plan to put bills on them. You really gotta look into these credit cards before you apply for them and you get them, and especially before you start spending that money off of them. I plan to maybe put my phone bill and my insurance on this credit card for the simple fact those are things I never pay early. What I pay early is everything else, really. I pay my storage unit bills sometimes early, and I know for a fact I pay my car note early as I can. Right now, I gotta pay my car note not next month, but the next month after that. Because where I messed up was I was making early payments thinking I was doing something good. If you decide to make an early payment on your vehicle, on your auto loan, on whatever you owe, pay the principal. I ended up paying $400. I was getting side money, so I was just putting it towards the loan. Debt snowball method. I talked about that in my last video. I was just attacking my loan, breaking it down. I forgot to pay on the principal, and now my car payment is way further on down the line. I got it down here, talk about the Notes app. I'm going to talk about the Notes app in my next video. Like I said, I'm gonna make a whole nother video talking about how I budget, how I track my money the way I do, and how I keep track of everything on a daily basis. Because it's not just me doing this once a week or anything like that. I'm using the Notes app every day, and that's something I want everybody to do. You can see right here, I got this business name. I feel like this is one of the ones that I could start up within next month and really take off with it. The name for this one is D's Inflatable Rentals. My first thought process on this whole idea was when I seen a bouncy house in somebody's backyard. Mind you, that is how quick that thought ran through my head. But then the second thought ran through my head, how much are bouncy houses? This was the one I was looking at in particular. You know, it's hot, summertime's coming up. I like the fact that it's like a water slide, it's pretty big. With this bouncy house right here, from what I read, it's telling me I can make payments with 0 APR per month. And it's not for the first 3 months, it's for the whole time period until I pay this $900 and something. I'm pretty sure that's what it's sitting at, but that's amazing to me. If I get this bouncy house right now, let's say I get this bouncy house rented out twice a month, and I'm charging them maybe like $360 for the whole day or something like that. I've already made the $60 that I need to pay per month, so I'm good. I'd make the money for the bouncy house already. I'd really just pay the bouncy house off. But 0 APR, that's basically free at that point. But I had a Castle bouncy house I was looking at. I had it noted down here, rent hourly/daily. And sadly, that is quick, like I said it was gonna be, but that is all the notes. But what I'm sitting here and saying is, it's many different ideas that run through my head, and there's many different ideas that run through your head. Put them down in your notebook, track what you're doing, track what you're spending. I really wanna sit here and be more than just this person who makes videos and show people how I'm growing. I wanna help you guys grow as well. And it's crazy because the first video that you guys will see from me will be on June the 1st. And that first video that's dropping on June 1st, I made that back in January. I've been doing this on the side for a while now, and I hope I can keep doing this. I hope God keeps guiding me. But by all means, man, keep being positive, keep your head on straight, and all these plans in your notebook and my notebook, they're soon to come true, man. You guys have a great one, man.